Okay, so I'm about a year into transitioning, and I've been reflecting lately on things that have made my transition so successful. Because I have had an incredibly successful transition, like almost unheard of. I have had zero bad reactions to my either coming out or transition or any part of this decision that I've made. I've had zero negative feedback, which is amazing. And then I was thinking about what it was that made it so successful. And yes, I did a few things prior to coming out into transitioning that I think made it easier. But I think the biggest thing has been that I was very selective of the group that I told first, and they became my allies. And that just led me to realize how important it is to have allies if you're within the LGBTQI community. And within any community, really, but especially within our community. Without allies, I would not have been able to make it through this year. And in the beginning, I felt kind of guilty because I honestly probably came out to personally a handful of people, and that's it. And yet, all my family knows, my entire like group of friends know, but that's because I picked a couple really good allies, and I didn't even really know that they would be good allies in the beginning, but then they kind of did the work that I was just unable to do. And I felt guilty for that because it's like, well, isn't that part of transition is that you're supposed to be the one coming out. You're supposed to be the one who goes through this. But then I was actually talking with a friend about it, and he told me that we can't do everything. Like, we'd like to believe that we're little superhumans, but we're not. And sometimes it's hard enough to just get out of bed and be who you are and face the world. But with an ally, they can help you do that. So my allies, they pretty much came out to everyone for me. And what was really cool is that when an ally comes out to someone versus you coming out to someone, it shows that if they say it in a way that it's like it's no big deal, then the people they're coming out to kind of regard it as, oh, okay, it's no big deal. If this person doesn't mind, why should I mind? Because they may know the person better, they may understand what they're going through better. And even as an ally, you don't have to understand wholeheartedly what the person's going through. For me, it was as simple as a person who started using the correct pronoun, and then others caught on. That was huge. I have an incredible one person who did that for me. Just she started using the pronoun, everyone else caught on. She would correct others, and she probably takes the brunt of the questions of my transition, but that's just how important it is to have an ally. And it's just an incredible, incredible experience. And the other thing with being a good ally is that they question what you're doing, and not in a cynical, pessimistic sense, but in, is are you sure that that's what you want to do, to make sure that you're doing really what's right for you. The best questions I've ever had with transition have come from my allies, who the people who support me the most. One of them being, why do you want to be a boy versus being a girl? And still I can't answer that question. It's innate. But yeah, just having an ally has been the most important thing for my transition. And allies are not only your friends, they're your family. Like, my sister is probably my greatest ally. She she's honestly proud to have a trans brother, and that just warms my heart like nothing you can imagine. Is my sister, who lives in another part of the state. We're apart, but when she moved down there, she had a sister, and now she has a brother, and she loves that fact. And for the most part, she just says brother. But if there comes out something from our childhood and people are like, wait, what? She just says, oh yeah, my brother's trans. And and then even my dad does that, where it's kind of just a fact. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing big secret. It's just how it is. And having an ally who can do that for you is amazing, because then it just becomes no big deal. Um, yeah, I would not have made it through this year without my allies. Um, they they help you stand up and face the world, or sometimes if you can't stand up and face the world, they stand up for you. It's amazing. So, word of advice when you're preparing to transition, find a really good ally. you're gonna have your haters, and you're gonna, as Ellen says, haters are the motivators. But find your allies, and then if you are someone who is not gay, lesbian, trans, nothing, you're heterosexual, cisgender, but you're open-minded and you're supportive, be a good ally. And as I said, that doesn't mean you have to be out in the parades, waving your banners, which is awesome. I mean, if you want to do that, go for it. But it's simply asking a question, well, what's your preferred pronoun? That is allyship. Or, correcting another person, saying, oh, no, that's not their name, this is their name. Allies are huge. So, word of advice, be a good ally and appreciate your allies. I think a lot of the times we kind of don't necessarily appreciate the small things that people do for us, but we have to, because it's those small things that lead to big things. It's accumulation. So just appreciate those small acts of kindness and allyship that come your way. So that's a big thing I've been thinking about, is how important it is to have good allies and to choose good allies. So for all those people out there who are allies, thank you. And for all those people who are looking for allies, keep looking and pick a good one. And you never know who they are, but they'll surprise you. And when you realize just how important they are, just appreciate them and let them know. So that's what I have to say about that. That's a big one that's been on my mind. So hope everyone's doing really well. And I'll probably make another update. All right, bye.